Seduction is a 1982 American thrill film written and directed by David Small. The film follows a Los Angeles news anchor who is stalked by an obsessive mayor who goes after her. The film begins with Jamie Douglas, a beautiful and successful Los Angeles news writer and anchor who is in a stable relationship with her long-term boyfriend Brandon. Jamie receives a phone call from a man named Derek and begins a serious meetings with Derek, a photographer. Jamie dismisses it as a fan's harmless flattery until Derek retrieves her phone number and begins calling her home in the Hollywood Hills as well as the home of her fashion model neighbor Robin. Derek's office, Derek manages to get into Jamie's dressing room and gives her a box of candy, apologizing for his harassing calls. Jamie sympathizes with him and thanks him for the gift. Derek continues to pursue Jamie, unaware that her house is next to his property. One afternoon, he meets her in her living room. When she stops him, he begins to frantically take pictures of her. Brendan arrives and attacks her. Derek beats up Jamie. Derek, who is obsessed with blood, thanks Jamie and leaves. Jamie visits his police officer friend Maxwell for advice. Maxwell explains that Jamie has few options because Derek has technically committed no crime. Meanwhile, Derek goes with Robin to one of her modeling assignments and introduces himself as Jamie's friend. Derek introduces himself as a man, but Robin discovers that he is the same man who has been calling her at Jamie's house. Derek urges Robin to convince Jamie to go on a date with him, but Robin forces him to leave. Derek later confronts Jamie and Robin at the mall, where Jamie forcefully tells him to stop and leave him alone. Brendan consults a doctor about Jamie's condition, and the doctor advises him that Derek is possibly suffering from erotomania, a condition in which he believes that a stranger reciprocates his affection for Jamie. One night, Derek breaks into Jamie's house and sees her saluting herself in the shower through her closet. Later, Derek's co-worker at the photo studio, Julie, attempts to ask him out on a date, but he declines, saying he is engaged. As part of a news story, Jamie attends the funeral of a woman who is the victim of an unknown serial killer known as the Sweetheart Killer. While reviewing the footage, Jamie notices Derek standing behind her at the cemetery. Derek enters the news station as a news anchor and brings in a last-minute extra for Jamie's broadcast. During the live taping, a message from Derek plays on Jamie's television screen. A distraught Jamie pleads for help on air and tells her viewers that she has a stalker who is going to kill her. That night, Brendan comforts Jamie and the two relax in her hot tub. The two begin to have sex, but Derek appears from the shadows, comes out and stabs Brendan to death. Jamie runs into the house to call the police but is stopped. Meanwhile, Derek buries Brendan's body in his yard. Jamie calls Derek at his house and begs him to come back. When he returns home, she starts shooting at him with a gun and he crashes into the window to escape. Jamie calls Derek again and tauntingly offers herself to him. Meanwhile, Julie arrives at Derek's house to warn him that the police have questioned him about her. During their conversation, Maxwell arrives at Derek's house and warns him to leave Jamie alone and says that in return, he will prevent him from going to jail for harassment. After Maxwell leaves, Julie confesses her love to Derek, but when he tells her off, she tells him she is not going to jail for harassment. When she tells him Jamie does not love her, he becomes angry. Julie walks quickly to her car and moments later sees Derek sneaking into Jamie's backyard. Derek enters the house and threatens Jamie with a knife. She manages to force him off of her and the two fight in her room. Derek pulls her onto the bed and attempts to rape her. In response, Jamie begins to aggressively offer himself to her and unbuttons his shirt and pants, but he immediately shows cowardice and inadvertently reveals that he is impotent. Disgusted by Derek's hypocrisy, Jamie attempts to leave, but an enraged Derek attacks her and prepares to kill her, but is shot and killed by Julie, who suddenly arrives at the scene